Something is watching you right now. Not a person. Not an animal. Something you cannot name, cannot see, and cannot explain. And the most unsettling part? It has happened before. To real people. In real places. And science, with all its instruments and equations and brilliant minds, looked directly at what happened and said the same 4 words. We don't know either. These are not campfire stories. These are documented events, investigated by researchers, recorded in official reports, witnessed by multiple credible people at the same time. And every single one of them remains, to this day, without a rational explanation. Stay with this. All the way to the end. Number 1. The Taos hum. You are standing in a small town in New Mexico called Taos. The desert stretches endlessly in every direction. It is quiet here. Profoundly quiet. But for thousands of residents, that quiet is shattered by something that has been drilling into their skulls since the early 1990s. A low, persistent hum. Like a diesel engine idling just outside the window. Except there is no engine. There is no truck. There is nothing there. The hum only affects around 2% of the population. It cannot be recorded by any microphone. It does not show up on any audio equipment. And yet the people who hear it describe it in almost identical terms. Low frequency. Rhythmic. Coming from somewhere underground, or somewhere inside their own heads. They cannot sleep. They cannot concentrate. Some have reported nosebleeds. Some have reported suicidal thoughts just to make it stop. The US Congress funded a formal investigation in 1997. Scientists from multiple universities participated. They measured, tested, triangulated, and at the end of it all, they produced a report that said the source of the hum could not be identified. It is still humming. Number 2. The Dyatlov Pass Incident. February 1959. 9 experienced Soviet hikers set up camp on a snowy slope in the Ural Mountains of Russia. They were seasoned. They were prepared. They had done this before. They never came down. When rescuers found them weeks later, the tent had been sliced open from the inside. Not cut. Sliced. As if they needed to escape so urgently they could not unzip the door. They were found scattered across the mountainside, in sub-zero temperatures, wearing almost nothing. Some had missing eyes. One had a missing tongue. Several had internal injuries so severe that investigators compared them to what you would see in a high-speed car crash, yet there were no external wounds. No bruising on the skin. Just crushed bones from the inside. One of the hikers had turned a deep orange color. Their hair had turned gray. Soviet investigators ruled the cause of death as a compelling natural force. That was the official term. A compelling natural force. In 2019, Russia reopened the investigation. Their conclusion was an avalanche. But forensic experts around the world immediately pushed back. The injuries do not match an avalanche. The lack of external trauma does not match an avalanche. The missing eyes and tongue do not match an avalanche. 9 people went up that mountain. Something was waiting for them. Number 3. The Hessdalen Lights. In a remote valley in Norway called Hessdalen, something has been appearing in the sky since at least the 1930s. Bright, glowing orbs of light. Sometimes white. Sometimes yellow. Sometimes red. They hover. They drift. They accelerate at impossible speeds and then vanish. They have been witnessed by hundreds of people over the decades, and they have been photographed, filmed, and studied by scientists from multiple countries. Project Hessdalen launched in 1983. Researchers set up automatic monitoring stations. They recorded the lights on radar, infrared, and optical cameras simultaneously. They confirmed the lights were real, physical phenomena producing measurable electromagnetic radiation. And then they confirmed they had no idea what the lights actually were. One leading hypothesis involves ionized plasma caused by the valley's unusual geology. But that explanation cannot account for how the lights maneuver. Plasma does not make sharp turns. Plasma does not decelerate and then stop. Plasma does not blink. The lights are still appearing. Tourists travel from around the world to watch them. Scientists are still watching too. Still taking notes. Still without an answer. Number 4. The Overtoun Bridge. There is a bridge in Scotland. A beautiful stone bridge in a place called Overtoun, near the town of Dumbarton. And for reasons no one on earth can explain, dogs walk to that bridge, climb up to the parapet, and jump off. Not occasionally. Repeatedly. Over 50 dogs have leaped from the exact same spot on the exact same side of the bridge since the 1950s. Some survive and come back. And then jump again. Animal behaviorists have studied the site. Veterinarians have studied the site. The bridge has been examined for chemical signals, for sounds outside of human hearing, for electromagnetic anomalies. The leading theory is that the dogs smell mink or other animals under the bridge and misjudge the height. But this cannot explain why the jumps are always from the same location, or why the behavior persists across completely different breeds and ages and temperaments, or why some dogs survive, return to the same spot, and leap a second time. There is something at that bridge. Dogs know it. We do not. Number 5. The Paulding Light. In the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, in a forest near a town called Paulding, a light appears every single night. It has appeared every night for as long as anyone can remember. It bobs. It floats along what used to be a railway line. It changes color between white and red. It has been witnessed continuously for over 100 years. Scientists from Michigan Technological University investigated in 2010. Their conclusion was that the light is caused by headlights from a distant highway reflecting and refracting through the atmosphere. The local community rejected this entirely. They took the scientists out on nights when the highway was closed. The light still appeared. No cars. Still glowing. Still moving. Still unexplained. Number 6. The Flannan Isles Lighthouse Mystery. December 1900. 3 lighthouse keepers stationed on a remote Scottish island simply ceased to exist. A supply ship arrived to find the lighthouse in perfect condition. Beds made. Meals half-eaten. A chair knocked over. The light extinguished. And 3 experienced men gone without a trace, without a boat, without a body ever being recovered. The logbook entries in the days before their disappearance describe storms of extraordinary violence. One entry read, "The men are very quiet today." A second, "A severe storm was felt." A third entry, written on December 15th, simply said, "Storm ended." There were no storms recorded on December 15th by any other station in the region. No storm. No bodies. 3 men. Gone. Number 7. The Mack's headroom signal hijacking. On the night of November 22nd, 1987, something interrupted television broadcasts in Chicago. A figure appeared on screen wearing a Mack's headroom mask, making erratic movements, mumbling incoherent phrases, and in the final moments of the broadcast, being spanked with a fly swatter by someone off camera before the signal cut out. This was a signal hijack. It required sophisticated equipment, significant technical knowledge. The FBI investigated. The FCC investigated. Nobody was ever identified. Nobody was ever charged. The person or people who did it have never come forward. The broadcast exists. The investigation is closed. And the individual behind the mask remains one of the most haunting unsolved mysteries in television history. You started this wanting to feel something. A shiver. A moment where the ordinary world cracked open just slightly. And maybe you got that. But here is what is harder to sit with. These are not legends. These are not myths passed down through generations of terrified imaginations. These are records. Investigations. Scientific inquiries conducted by sober, skeptical people who went looking for an answer. And came back with nothing. Something is watching you right now. You felt it when you started listening. And if you are being honest with yourself, you still feel it now.